Question number 5, Mercedes Vialba.
To ask the First Minister, in light of reports of people being forced onto prepayment meters, what steps the Scottish Government is taking to support vulnerable people in Scotland with rising energy costs.
First Minister.
Well, first of all, the Scottish Government opposes the forced installation of prepayment meters because it's only more likely to increase debt or leave people unable to heat their homes. We continue to call on the UK Government to provide the necessary additional support for those struggling with energy bills, but also doing everything we can with the powers available to us. This includes doubling the Fuel Insecurity Fund to £20 million and providing an additional £1.2 million to help advice services meet the increasing demand that they are dealing with. I chaired 2 energy summits last year. As a result of these, we continue to work with partners to see what more we can do by working together to support and protect Scottish consumers in these times.
Mercedes Vialba.
Oil and gas giants BP and Shell are reporting record profits on the sale of energy, while millions are struggling to heat their homes. But the extortion doesn't stop there. I've received reports from Dundee Pensioners Forum that their elderly members are receiving alarming letters demanding payment from their energy suppliers, payments to accounts that are not only not in arrears, but are actually in significant credit. And when these vulnerable people are unable to pay what they do not even owe, they're being threatened with forced prepayment installation. So, Presiding Officer, while I appreciate that much of energy policy is reserved, the First Minister does meet regularly with the energy providers and she does have their ear. So will the First Minister condemn any use of such bullying and strong-arm tactics, and will she commit to ending the granting of warrants by courts in Scotland for the forced installation of prepayment meters?
First Minister.
I've not seen the letters that the member refers to, but of course I would condemn any behaviour that seeks to bully consumers or individuals in any way. 2 issues were raised in the course of that question, both important issues. Firstly, taxation of oil and gas companies, and secondly, energy regulation. Both of these things are reserved to the UK Government. I wish that wasn't the case. I wish we had powers here in the Scottish Parliament, and perhaps the member will support our calls for such powers in future. As First Minister, I cannot instruct courts. I think every member understands that. But within the powers we have available to us, and on energy, as the member recognises, these powers are very limited. Of course, this Parliament will and should, and the Government will and should look to see what more we can do to help. But here, as on so many other issues, if we didn't always have to look to the UK Government, and if we held these powers here in the Scottish Parliament, we'd be able to do much more than we